What's good, man? It's your boy Juicy J, man. Shout out to Virtual Homework Podcast.
Sam, thank you for reaching out to let us know that of your wonderful suggestion for our product. We are glad that you care enough about our foods to offer your idea. Although we cannot accept confidential ideas, your idea matters to us because it helps to us understand current opinions and trends. Your insight helps us continue to offer foods that are beloved by people around the world. Thank you again, Sam, Kellogg Consumer Affairs. Makes me feel bad that one...
It's misspelled. That was totally outsourced to like in another country.
Yeah. Two, I don't think they took my pretzel Pringle idea seriously. For those coming in, welcome to the Virtual Homework Podcast. That was...
Welcome.
What even am I talking about? I'm talking about my email from episode 67.5. That's right, we didn't play a game last week, and you probably didn't listen,
Pringles.
okay? I emailed Pringles instead. I thought it was a good compromise. This form letter response telling me that they cannot accept confidential ideas. I was not saying like, yo, keep this on the down low, but I have a good idea for a pretzel.
Like, how would you feel if in like 3 months they came out with these?
If they came out with a pretzel Pringle, I would blow my pot. That'd be great for the podcast. Because I would be like, I sent them this email 3 months ago and they stole my idea. I wouldn't care so much because I want to try a pretzel Pringle. And if Kellogg's,
because I think that's
the owners of
considered
Pringles wants to,
copyright
too.
is if there's proof that you sent it to them.
I guess, but that's besides the point. I got a response back. Okay, I'm kind of a celebrity. You ever hear of Pringles? I know them. We're BFFs.
You're on speed dial with Pringles.
I am on speed. They responded relatively quick. They responded in like 3 days, 4 days, and considering
Twitter
I sent that at
doesn't
midnight,
respond
that's
to me.
basically
Twitter doesn't respond to me.
Oh yeah.
Depressing.
Anyway, I'm Sam.
I am Dana, and this is a video game podcast.
We've only said that like 7 times. What did we play this week?
Dude, we played fucking Psychonauts 2. The thrilling conclusion or continuation of the Psychonauts franchise that actually just came out like a week ago, I think it was.
No, it didn't. This game's a month old. Where does the time go?
Aging, death, desolation.
Legitimately, we're recording this on 9:15. The game came out on 8:15.
Did it really?
Yep. And the thing about this is that we just played Psychonauts, so I feel like we have a little bit better idea about the continuation of the series. I know that this is actually the third game in the series. There was like a very brief VR experience that was like an 2-hour campaign.
Yeah.
That apparently like it bridged the gap between this game and the other game. So at the end of last game, spoiler alert, you could skip like 30 seconds to actually miss this.
Well, like to be fair, the beginning of this game spoils it.
Okay, but the Psychonauts go off to save the leader of the Psychonauts who has been kidnapped. The VR is actually like him getting, like you're saving him from being kidnapped. And then this game, you have retrieved the kidnapped Psychonauts leader and you are going back to Psychonauts headquarters. So Psychonauts 2 is a platformer made by Double Fine, led by Tim Schafer of Gamergate fame. I don't know why that's the only reason I know Tim Schafer. People hate him because
anyone knows him.
Yeah, because he's like, fuck Gamergate, and then Gamergate's like, we took that personally. So anyway, on a more positive note, good game. By that I mean great game. I mean, holy shit,
I think this is
amazing
a
game.
beyond great game. Like this is like, for me, this is like top 5 on podcast level game.
Yeah, I agree.
Considered how much I thought that the original game was overrated as fuck, this game literally fixed almost every single complaint I had with the original game, one by one. Granted, I do have a couple problems with this game, but like
We'll get into
this
that
game
later.
this was an absolute joy to play. Like, holy shit, was this awesome.
So, did you beat the game?
Oh yeah, I did beat it.
I beat the game too, and I was actually considering 100%ing it, but I
actually want to as well. The collectathon aspect was significantly better than the original. Some of the problems I had in the original were like the items you had to search for, they're transparent, they blended in with the stage, the textures were a little bit washed out, but because everything looked so good, so crisp, and they made those transparent things you collect a lot easier to find, the figments, a lot more fun to do.
Yeah, so let's actually talk about this game a little bit in terms of like this is essentially the same game as Psychonauts 1 from a basic. It's a 3D platformer that is heavily cinematic, and I will say like heavily cinematic. They're like
Yeah.
it's basically a movie when you get like into certain sections, but You are going around Psychonauts headquarters trying to basically go up through the ranks of Psychonauts. You start as an intern, and then as the story progresses, you become more and more of a Psychonaut as the main plot unfolds, as Grulovia, the place where some of the main characters come from, the political history comes into the fold. I feel like, as you said, this is basically Psychonauts if they improved literally every single aspect.
Yep.
Sure, the main things that are enjoyable in the original game are still there. Pretty much every single power-up, save like 1 or 2, is the same. The game functions as a 3D platformer, but I feel like where it really improved is... You mentioned in your original Psychonauts complaints that the combat was extremely one-dimensional.
Oh, it was terrible. And this, it was like such an improvement. Like,
yeah,
holy shit.
It actually mattered.
Yeah, it actually mattered. So for one, you could do dodging, and the most enemies had some sort of telegraph attack that you could dodge, weave in and out. Something that's different that we didn't really mention is that you start with a lot of the abilities you ended up in the last game. But in this game, you can level them up as you level up your rank, put points in them to make them stronger, maybe make them shoot an extra projectile, do certain things, and it really made combat super, super interesting. I absolutely loved it. And it's still the same problem where combat frequently felt very repetitive, where it's like the same, like, it's like the original game was like 2 enemies, this is like 6 or 7 different enemies, like the same type of fights over and over and over, but still, like, the different type of builds and everything you can do to augment and make your combat better is just like, it was so much better. Such an improvement.
At the same time, like, I felt like this was more of a platformer than the predecessor. Like, first of all, that extends to the fact that, like, the levels themselves were significantly more straightforward.
It was less puzzly and more just like pure unadulterated platforming, which I don't have a problem with. I feel like the puzzles were kind of phoned in on the original. Yeah,
actually, the second half of the game, which is nearly all puzzles, was like by far the worst section. So I would they pretty much trim the fat regarding that. But I was just gonna say, like, I felt like a lot of the combat, besides like bosses, which were in every single level, most of the combat I would say is more avoidable than the original game. Like, I feel like you were kind of nagged with enemies in the original game, and like, sure, there were some segments where there was kind of like,
I would disagree, because almost every fight in this one is like you're in an area and it's like, oh no, enemies are coming, you have to kill them before you can progress, versus like in the original game I feel like there were a lot less of those.
I feel like maybe those were just more common towards the end of the game. We might have recency bias, but I remember when I was like playing this game in the middle, I actually made that note that, like, I was like, wow, there really isn't that much forced combat in this game compared to the original. But like, even so, like, from every like, sure, the gameplay gets a little repetitive at times just due to the fact that, like, as a platformer, you're basically just jumping from place to place.
Yeah.
But like, I enjoyed this game from start to finish. Can I just say, this game looks beautiful.
Holy shit, it is so good. And it's such one of my main complaints about the original game was that it wasn't as open world as it kind of tried itself to be. Granted, in this one you kind of had a central goal, but the overworld in this game is gigantic and you can kind of go anywhere. It literally tells you, hey, go fucking explore, go find shit, go find upgrades, go to any of these areas anytime you want. Like, straight up, they were like, hey, go explore, and you can explore for literally hours and find secrets, all sorts of really cool stuff, all different, like, secret areas, like, all this other, like, super awesome fun stuff.
Yeah, and it's not one of those games, like, you could beat this game at a relatively low level. Like, it doesn't really matter too much. Like, you basically have all the skills to beat the game when you first start the game. Save, like, you probably want a little bit more health from some of the power-ups. But, like, with that, like, all the power-ups that you could potentially get in these open world areas, because that's really what you're rewarded with when you explore, like, the super, like, extended depths. Like, you're rewarded with things that don't necessarily matter to the completion. Well, maybe matter a little to the completionist, but like don't really matter towards like someone who's like heavy into collecting, so it doesn't get like completely overwhelming.
Well, the upgrades felt a lot more meaningful than in the previous game. I felt like because you didn't use 90% of your repertoire in the original game, that the upgrades felt meaningless. And in this, they actually, because you use every single ability multiple times all over the place for a million different things, cause a lot of those upgrades to feel a lot more meaningful.
True. I didn't want to say like this game it's meaningless to upgrade with like the regard that you like have everything to beat the game when you first start. It's definitely still like an award for getting those items.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
It's just like
you could do it if
yeah.
you physically wanted to. Yeah. One thing I will say, so they had this like pin system. I didn't use it at all whatsoever. There was
I
like,
didn't,
this
I didn't
pin
use
system.
any of the items really, besides like getting achievements. But
I used a couple of them. So there's this, you can augment your abilities via the when you level up your rank, you can put points into certain abilities. But then there's you can further augment them by buying pins from the shop with currency you find all over the game. Change the color of a ball, it'll like make your ability do something different. I didn't use any of them. I basically only used the ones that make items fly to you. So I always had health, always got all like my money items right away. And that's all I ever really used.
yeah, I basically used the one pin that like I used some passive pins and then I completely forgot about them until the end of the game, and then I'm like, near the end I might as well get this one pin that costs a bunch that like helps me out in combat. But
That was probably my one negative about the game, was the pin system. Just felt like I didn't need to do it at all whatsoever.
I mean, I don't want to get into like my full on like rant about any negatives I have about this game, but I do want to just note like I definitely see it as an improvement from the hub world. Like literally every single aspect is like it's beautiful. Like Psychonauts, I get what they were going for with like the blander colors making it look more drab, but like this game is just eye candy basically.
It's
I don't know,
beautiful.
like I feel like when I was playing it though, like specifically like the brain hub, because you're in basically like an FBI headquarters, I felt like it was almost like a little bit like generic superhero feel, and I felt like the original campsite may have had a little bit more personality than like the environments here.
Absolutely. I think that was something that was definitely true to the first game. There are definitely a lot more personality to some of the areas. Now that being said, I feel like certain areas like the Feast of the Senses, like there are just levels in this game that are just absolutely mind-blowing.
We could get into the level design here. I mean, is Feast of the Senses the Psy King one?
Yeah,
that's my favorite level in the game. First of all,
that was super fucking cool.
The thing
like
is,
everything about it, like the music, like the visuals, like everything. Like oh my god!
Spoilers: they got Jack Black to sing a song in this game.
Oh, that was
Jack Black. The thing is, I was like, is that Jack Black? And then I looked up, I was like, oh shit, it is Jack Black. Yeah, he plays a character in this game very briefly. I have a little bit of complaint, even though it's my favorite level. Some of these levels, really towards the middle, I feel like towards the end, like they were broken up into sections pretty well, but like some of these levels are long.
These levels, I was gonna say, like I have a point to say, like these are massive, intricate levels with multiple sections, multiple wings, like if you're trying to collect everything, like holy shit. Like that library level, once you start getting to like the little city area, like that is a massive area.
I'm not even thinking about collecting. I'm just thinking like trying to sit down and beat a level. It's like, this is exhausting. I didn't expect to be here for 3 hours trying to beat this level right now. But I felt that overall the game was a good length, and even as a collectathon, it's like 15 hours versus 25 hours if you go like any percent versus 100%. So like, I very reasonably beat this game. I do want to at one point 100% this game, but I know it's not going to happen.
I do. I actually want to as well. Like I felt like the collectathon felt like less of a drag than the original game. Let's go into like the story a little bit. I feel like the story was a lot more pronounced. It was a lot better writing. One of my major criticisms with the original game was I felt the last like end game part was completely rushed. I didn't feel like any part of this game was rushed. Like there are straight up sections of this game where I'm like, holy shit, like this is crazy. I was super invested in the story.
It basically seems like a movie at points. Like the story is legitimately intricate, and I feel like the total of the cutscenes could potentially be like an hour, 2 hours. Like there is a ton of like actual like animated like segments.
Remember when I was
game.
Like there are thousands of hours of voice lines with the original game. Like I actually think there are thousands of hours of voice lines in this game, because you can literally talk to every character in this game.
Yeah, and there's like different sequences depending on where you are in the game too.
Yeah. Which is super cool.
But yeah, like the actual story was a lot more engrossing. Like I thought one of the main complaints I had with Psychonauts 1 in terms of the story was all of a sudden everyone's kidnapped and this one character wants to take over the world. Like, where did this come from? This kind of just came out of nowhere. This had like an actual like villain set up. There were twists and turns, and then we got to the end and it was a satisfying ending. I hope that's not a spoiler. I know that's
it was a super satisfying ending.
Yeah, no, one thing I will piss people off sometimes. Like, oh, I saw that movie, it had such a good ending. It's like, why do you tell me the ending was good?
One thing I will say, and something that it was pretty wholesome. They actually had a man and a man romantic relationship in the game, and it was completely wholesome. I know a lot of people, like the gamer bros, are like, "Oh, what the hell? The woke culture, blah blah blah." But I think they wrote it in really well to a way that really, if you can't be upset about it. It was super cute, super wholesome, and everything like that. So
yeah, they just did it and didn't really acknowledge like there.
It was just like a normal thing.
Yeah,
I was thinking about it. It's just so crazy. We're so used to like the traditional man and woman in video games that like we're like, oh my god, like this is a thing. And it's like, well, no, this is normal, and you don't have to. You just treat it like it's whatever. It was really well done, and I felt like it was really wholesome.
Yeah, it was a good level. It was up. Like I'm trying to think. Like at that point in time, I was like trying to just basically get to the end game. I would say that
end game is long.
Yeah. So like that level in my experience in level might have just been marred that I was like trying to kind of rushing it because I was worried I wasn't going to be able to beat the game for the podcast.
Well, it was spread. It was the relationship thing was spread over like 5 or 6 different levels. Like
it was 2 levels. Like, it was.
There, like if you paid attention to like different things and talking and
I
stuff
didn't
like that.
pay attention until I literally had to climb a massive gay wedding cake, which was a good part of the level
with his nipples sticking out.
Yeah, so like I was actually so the thing is like I had to as morbid curiosity and knowing the gamer bro culture, I was like curious if people were like legitimately outraged over that. And like honestly, I did not find that much outrage towards that on the internet. The thing I actually found outrage for was ironically there's a trigger warning in the beginning of the game that this game deals with mental health issues and like there's like beware if you have a dental phobia, which honestly I was like, oh, dental phobia, and then I was like, oh, okay, if someone is legitimately scared of teeth,
like that first level,
that's
like
the creepiest level in the game. I was like, wow,
the tone creepy, man.
The tone of this game is really changed, but then the game got a lot more lighthearted.
Well, yeah, there's a couple things a bunch of people got pissed off on the internet. One was all the accessibility options. Like you can straight up make it so it's impossible to die in this game.
No, the thing is, I didn't think people were upset that accessibility options existed, but they were upset when Psychonauts tweeted out that beating the game on infinite health mode is still beating the game, or they made some comments on that. People were like, the Dark Souls crowd is like, if you did not struggle in this game, did you have the same experience as me? No, you have not beaten the game, despite what the developers say. I'm like, if you had fun,
I think this game had a fantastic difficulty curve. Like, it wasn't like out of this world. Like, I got really frustrated in the original game a bunch of times. I didn't really get frustrated in this game, but it was definitely I had to try at a lot of parts in this game, which is
I nearly one-shotted everything except for the final boss.
I think I one-shotted every single boss, but I felt like it was decently not. I don't want to say it's difficult, but it was like fun and challenging at parts.
I thought this game, and I mentioned that like got a little repetitive at points towards the end because like I feel like at the core like this is more story than platformer, and like it has tight controls and it has satisfying gameplay, but I feel like because they emphasize the story more than the platforming aspects, like I was able to let the platforming take a little bit of a backseat, and therefore I didn't care that much that like I was having a pretty easy stroll through the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Another thing that people are pissed off about is that it doesn't have Russian support.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. Oh, okay, so there's actually multiple things regarding this, but I was like just looking at this game because sometimes when I like play a game I really like, I want to go to like bad reviews and then just like read how idiotic they are. Like, I know I mentioned Gamergate before. One of the only pro Gamergate publications that I know in recent memory, Tech Raptor rated this game a 7.5 out of 10. And one of their main complaints was that the power-up system was outdated, and having to switch the power-ups from a menu just seemed like something you do in PS2. I'm like, they like docked like a point for that. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, I could see where they're coming from because it does feel like very 2000s like clunky platformer, which is a genuine complaint. I didn't really care too much about it.
But like 7.5, come on. But anyway.
Yeah, no, I think that's insane. But I think it's a point to say like, all right, I have to change this ability to this ability to, it's like constantly having to choose.
I was actually in a rhythm with that. I didn't really care. But no, in the process of looking at the Metascore, I noticed that like this game has like a 4 or like 5 out of 10 on certain platforms. Apparently there's a review bombing campaign because the game does not have Russian language support. But there's also the fact that like console wars, people were like upset that the game was not coming to certain consoles. And honestly, this game was getting legitimately negative reviews on older platforms that this game supports, Xbox One or I think the Xbox One in particular, for performance issues. but like I don't know. This game is so butterly smooth for me.
Oh yeah, this game is like the 5th most top rated game on Metacritic right now. Like
yeah,
literally.
The main complaint on these older platforms is load times, but like load times, I literally have a point here. Before I read that, I had no idea. Like this game loads from area to area on a nice PC extremely quickly. It's like I'm in. It's like I had never out of the game really.
I completely forgot about this. Some of the perspective changes in some of these levels are so fucking cool. Like you'll go through like a portal from like one area, and then you go through it, and then you like look back, and then you see the other area, but it's like an unclosed like brand new area. Or you'll like be in like a different tower, like how you go around and stuff like that. It was super cool, like the different perspective changes that happen all over this game.
Yeah, this game is not open world. You can't just like go from like you can't walk into a level. Like there still is a tiny little transition, but like it is so minimal, at least on my setup, that like I was just like impressed.
I'm talking about more so in the level.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I was just gonna say I'm impressed that like I literally like I was always playing the game. I was never waiting to play the game. But yeah, in the level, it's absolutely insane. Like it reminds me of I've only seen it. I've never actually played it, but Ratchet and Clank for the PS5, how like everything kind of like blends into like everything else, like it or like what's it called? Bowser's Fury, in a way.
Yeah.
Where like it's just you go from one section to the next, and it's like there's no transition. You're just it's almost like a completely different level.
This game's a fucking pleasure to play, man. Like this is like literally like top 5 favorite game for me. Like I had so much fun with this. I'm so glad that they did so much improvement with it, because with these games that are quote unquote cult classics that come back that had like a 16-year development time or whatever.
It's like Duke Nukem, and then it's
exactly.
like the worst game of all time. Like, yeah, actually, there's not a really good track record for resurrecting games. But no. Yeah, I also personally, I think this is probably the thing is like I play these games, and when a game's really good, I think about my top 5 for the year, because we did that last year, and we're probably gonna do it this year. And I was like, oh, this game is easily number 1 in the top 5. But then I remember Hades exists.
Yeah, Hades and like this are like game of the year contenders for sure.
High praise to even be in the same conversation as Hades, legitimately. But the thing
Hades
is like
insane.
The thing is, and where I think that Hades will eventually, in my mind, overshadow this game, is that like Hades is a literal perfect experience. Yeah. This game is not perfect. This game is marred by a few technical issues, at least that I experienced. Did you have any dialogue issues?
No.
Really? Okay. I'm not the only one who's experienced this. Like, a lot of people are having these issues too. We're like, dialogue, especially in the hub world, will just like randomly play. Like, I'll hear like Sasha, one of the main characters' dialogue from like literally all the way the other end of the Psychonauts hall. Like, dialogue also, I thought like this isn't really a technical issue per se, but like when you walk past a character and then like you open up a different screen, it like cuts off the dialogue, and then like I have to go back and like hear it again if I really want to like listen to it.
Yeah. I mean that's definitely something that happened to me. Like if you accidentally go too far ahead and you don't hear it and stuff like that.
But yeah, I didn't have that many technical issues. Really, it was primarily dialogue based. That's when you're nitpicking about like dialogue randomly playing, like you have a good game, because like I can't really think of any other negatives. Like I also just want to like I meant to bring this up when we were talking about the story, but like I feel like this game is probably the best representation of mental health in a video game I've ever seen.
Oh, like, absolutely. It has like the whole package, like in the wholesome way. Like I said, it has like LGBTQ, it has like mental health, like in a really wholesome and way that's not like phoning it in. Like it's super well done.
The main comparison that I bet I'm not the only one who's made this comparison is comparing this game to Celeste. And like, it's not a competition on highlighting mental health issues and overcoming them, but I feel like the messages in this game resonated with me a lot more due to the cinematic nature of the game versus something like Celeste. I am like the only person on Earth who does not really care about the plot of Celeste. I just wanted
this game gets pretty dark with some of the subject matter, like with this like death and dying and like failing your friends, failing your family, like failing yourself, like alcoholism, like, and they deal with all these deep rooted like inner demons that these people have. Like this game's very like on the high end of PG, like.
Yeah, and I think they did a very good job with highlighting mental health issues, and I feel like people who experience those are definitely going to resonate with this game. I really have no major complaints with this game. It's an amazing game. Just play the game. Play the game. Worth $60. Worth every penny.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Did you notice that after you beat the game, there's like actual content that you can do after the game?
Yeah,
There's
of course.
there's like new missions, like new like quests and things like that. Like there's so much content like even after you beat the game, which is kind of cool. I want to see where that goes.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go that. I
No,
wouldn't get your hopes
I
up that
don't
much.
I don't think it goes anywhere crazy, but
Psychonauts 3, 15 years.
Psychonauts 3, yeah, in 15 years. Could you imagine me playing this when you're like 45 years old?
Yeah, I can. I don't know. I'm not gonna just stop playing video games. It'd be pretty crazy.
40, can't play games.
Yeah, I super
Dude,
arthritis.
Like I know we
Hands don't
put
work?
this in like the same tier as like Hades, but like Hades maybe is like you said, a perfect experience. Like this gets close to it in my opinion.
I have a complaint about this game.
What's that?
You watch the credits?
Yeah.
Did you notice something towards the bottom of the credits?
Oh, I didn't watch all the end of the credits. What'd it say?
No, so they listed every single Kickstarter backer.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
It took if you don't fast forward through the credits, it takes over 20 minutes for that section to.
I didn't watch the end of the credits because
I was just hitting the down button. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is taking like a year, and I'm fast forwarding through it. I'm sorry, I didn't watch your credits, guys. There's way too many people working on every single video game. I can't do it, and I don't watch. No, you should not have to make excuses for not watching credits. The only time I've ever seen credits even comparable in length, and I feel like these are actually longer, is like Lord of the Rings extended editions. Something that's actually bullshit, and I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, is that the extended edition runtime includes the credits, and the credits are all like half an hour because, well, I think all movies.
Well, because all like 3 games, yeah.
Why are we talking about games?
Excuse me, it's all. Oh, so when you say extended, are you talking about each individual one, or like if you're like watching
each
them back to
individual movie?
I'm not sure if there's like a cut that's like all 3 of them, and then credits for all 3 at the end.
No, I'm saying this is like such a minor complaint. I don't know, like white nerd problem, but like the extended editions are not as long as they say. Okay, I want them longer. They all of them include the credits in the runtime, and each credits is like half an hour because they include every single member of like some Lord of the Rings fan club or something, or movie club. Legitimately, it's just names for like half an hour, and I'm just I want more Lord of the Rings. Okay, give me more Lord of the Rings. Well, I mean, like, I don't want to just like complain about credits for like any amount of time. 1 minute is too much time to complain about credits. I honestly don't really have that much more to add. Do you have any final thoughts on the game besides go play it? It's good.
Like I said, I don't have many complaints about it. It's like I said, it's good. Fucking the pin system sucks. It's basically it. Combat is kind of repetitive, but still fun because you get to augment stuff. Play it, yeah.
Well, I have no complaints. 10 out of 10. That is like the most underwhelming way to say a game is good. It's like, oh, I don't have any complaints.
I'm not gonna say it's a 10 out of 10. This is probably like a 9
out of 10. This is
like a 9. Yeah, this is like a high 9 out of 10 for me. So
I mean, I don't like giving number ratings in the first place, but hey,
I don't. But it's like I'm pretty confident in saying this is like something that I think people should remember. Do you think it was better than the first one?
Yeah. the first one's like an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it, but there were certain levels I legitimately hated, and in this, there was not a single level that I didn't enjoy. And like there's levels that like resonated with me that I will remember going forward in my life.
There's some super cool like cinematics and stuff like inside of levels. Like I guess a little bit of spoiler. Like one of the last levels, you're like on like a kind of like a ride, and you're like flying through this thing, and you're like going through like these tunnels, and like it's super crazy. Like, and
then you go in a toilet, and then the toilet flushes, and then it fills with poop, and then
that's literally
the
what
poop
just
gets in
happened
your
with
mouth.
me.
Doodles, what do you think about the game? Doodles. Doodles. I see you there. You're looking at me. Legitimately,
your soul.
Legitimately, Doodles looking at me, and Doodles is not telling me about the game. Doodles, give me those deets. Give me those deets. Give me cringe.
It's a good game. Nintendo did more Nintendo things. They did more bannings of modded Smash tournaments, and everyone's all pissed off about it. And it's like,
I don't even have anything to say on this. Like Nintendo, obviously they could do a little bit better to enact what the fighting game community wants. But like as an IP owner, you have to protect your IP, or else you lose your IP. I feel like they literally are legal. They just have to do it.
And people are like, "Oh, look at them shutting down tournaments for 20-year-old games." I'm like, shutting down tournaments for 20-year-old games that are heavily modded and hacked and source code. Yeah, I don't know. This isn't a conversation. I think we've had this conversation before. It's like it sucks, but it's like I'm not surprised, and you guys know it would happen. So
it would be significantly less bad if Nintendo actually cared about esports at all. And well, the thing is, they care about esports in their own way. They're like, we're gonna make ARMS an esport, and then literally no one ever plays ARMS.
No.
So like hypothetically, like really, what I think the solution to this is like in whatever they're not gonna
Melee on the Switch.
No, I'm not saying they don't really want to acknowledge Melee as a just whatever. They don't need to put Melee on the Switch. They don't need to make Melee remastered or GameCube Virtual Console. All they have to do, I feel like, in the newest iteration of Smash Bros, have like a legacy mode where like all the like the gravity, like you could turn it into Melee mode.
Yeah, everything is just like Melee.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Like the thing to look out for is the Nickelodeon Brawl game.
No one's gonna care. People are talking about.
Are you kidding me? That's gonna be huge.
No,
like, that's gonna be so fucking huge.
Do you not remember PlayStation All-Stars?
This is different though, because you can main Nigel Thornberry.
Yeah, okay, you can main Nigel Thornberry in Project M2, and look how
and they have fucking what's it called? You can like wave dash and shit. Like it's like it was created by people who did like Melee. It's like actually super hilarious. It's like hyper competitive already.
I personally like
for it.
People are super stoked for it, but there's a lot of these games that are Smash Bros clones that are like legitimately technically impressive and like fun, but they're never gonna usurp Smash Bros. Smash Bros is Smash Bros.
I mean, some of these games are doing really well. If you look at games like Brawlhalla and stuff like that, they're actually quite huge with like tournaments and shit like that, like in a like thriving scene. So.
But me, as a person who does not give a single shit about fighting games, still knows what Super Smash Bros is. Like, I don't know what any of these games are.
Yeah, like we're talking like
none of these are going to become
casual.
a household name. Like Nickelodeon Guts is not going to become a household name or whatever it's called.
We'll see.
They should have called it Nickelodeon Spill Your Guts. Okay,
it's not called Nickelodeon Guts. It's called Nickelodeon.
No,
Brawl.
I'm saying they should have called it Nickelodeon Spill Your Guts.
Nickelodeon Guts was a show. It was like Global Guts.
Are you serious? Like, of course I'm making a Guts reference.
Oh, that's like a fucking an obstacle course show.
Yeah, and there's a SNES game for it,
and it's terrible.
It's bad. I like that you have definitely never heard of the SNES game, and you were just like, and it's terrible, because that's a good guess, and it was
guess. I feel like I've played it.
You probably feel like you've played like 90% of.
Isn't there one for NES
titles.
too?
Licensed titles. Maybe.
I feel like I've played like the NES one, or maybe I'm thinking of
I don't think there's any Nintendo games for the NES.
Did you just say I don't think there's any Nintendo games for the NES?
Nickelodeon games for the NES. Okay, I'm not having an aneurysm. No, I literally just looked it up. I couldn't find any. You see this? You see this strip? See this strip? Supreme Shrek.
You see this strip? The Gucci Mane cocaine
shirt.
Yeah.
The only difference is this is official. Okay, that's not.
Is that an actual Supreme product?
No, yeah, they had a Shrek collaboration like a month ago.
Fucking. I am without words. It's great, but like everything about that is terrible.
What, the Supreme?
It's look, you gotta flex the drink.
No, I have these too much now. I'm gonna get diabetes.
They're really good, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And you can't.
I started drinking these Bang energy drinks because they are 0 sugar, 0 calories, 0 sodium.
They're still gonna kill you.
Hell yeah!
Like they can't just see. I'm scientific. There's like an equilibrium for.
Dude, it's zero everything that I care about.
All beverages, they have an equilibrium of like how much they're gonna kill you. Like you can't, if you take away the killing substances in Monster, you have to replace them with equally killing substances. Like hypothetically, 0 sugar versus regular sugar. Like water has no killing potential.
But so this will kill me in different ways, but they're like unseen ways. Like as long as I look good, that's all that matters.
Ways that no human being knows about yet because they haven't done longitudinal studies because the chemical...
Longitudinal?
Yeah.
Horizontal?
No, well, that's an actual thing.
Isn't that like where a location is on a map?
Longitudinal study is a type of correlational research that is looking at variables over an extended period of time. So yeah, I'm saying like they haven't done extended period of time studies on the effects of like random chemicals.
Don't
that were
say
invented.
extended period of time studies. What you said was correct. I'm just a dumbass.
Yeah, well,
that makes it sound even worse.
Well, what I'm trying to say is like they like I don't know when they invented aspartame. When they started using aspartame in the 80s, so like they don't know what aspartame is gonna do to people. And like imagine you drink Diet Coke for 50 years. They don't know what that does to the body.
Like all diet drinks taste like fucking metal. I'll give you $1,000 if you can guess what I have in my hand right now.
Dice?
No, it's a piece of candy that's been on my desk for.
That
like
looks like a
month.
D20 though. I'm basically right.
It's like
that looks
grape
like
candy.
A melted
like,
D20 die.
This has been on my desk for like ever.
That's
I
pretty
actually
cool.
cleaned
Do
a
you
little bit
do you
of.
have gamer desk right now?
It's beyond gamer desk right now.
I have gamer background. Let me just. What do we even have this week?
I want to talk about my new Switch. It's fucking life changing. For those that don't know, I bought a Big Daddy real Switch. I had a Switch Lite. It was awesome. I could play games on it. And it's not something you think about or realize until you try an actual Switch, how much you actually want an actual Switch over a Switch Lite. I told myself, I just want to lay in bed. I just want to play handheld. It doesn't matter. It matters a lot. I actually had the same conversation with the employee at GameStop I bought this from, and he did the same thing. He bought the regular Switch, the Switch Lite, because he was like, I'm just going to play a couple games. I just want to lay in bed. Half a year later, he bought a regular Switch and was like, I never want to not play this again. For laying in bed, it's a bigger screen. It's actually quite nice. Like I was actually able to play Hades on it. It was a big enough screen in bed where I'm not like, what the fuck's going on?
You never played Hades on I mean, I know you played for the podcast Hades on PC, but like I also know you had it multi-platform. You never played it on your Switch Lite?
I did. I played it a couple of times. I couldn't play it because it was like too tiny.
Oh, okay.
But like on like I guess mobile mode, whatever the fuck you call it on the Switch, is like on this one, like it's a little bit. It seems like it's brighter, it's bigger, like it's all around better. That being said, though, holy shit, 2 Joy-Con system is the most comfortable shit ever for playing games. Like literally, I can just lay in bed like.
I hate the Joy-Cons, so I'm gonna 100% disagree with you. Okay, I have issues with the Joy-Cons and Joy-Con drift, and maybe
I have zero. Because I have a version 2. I have 0 Joy-Con drift. It's like a brand new, like new.
They never
new
fixed
Switch.
Joy-Con drift. Like
well, whatever. I don't have any.
Yeah,
but it's like I have
like
laying in bed against the wall, like one Joy-Con up here, one like down here, just like.
Congratulations, you've
so
transcended
fucking comfortable.
To even
like,
lazier gamer.
So comfortable.
All I want to know is like as someone who owned a Switch Lite, and like does the Switch Lite suck, or is it just that the Switch is so much better than the Switch Lite?
It doesn't suck. It just I feel like it's something more for little kids, you know?
Okay.
Like a little kid is just something that play. It's just the biggest thing for me is my eyes. Like I just couldn't see it. Everything was just so tiny. Like.
Did you know it was tiny, or is it like now looking back it was tiny?
Well, my vision's getting slightly worse over time because
no.
I had terrible diet and
you can't game if you're blind, so stop doing that.
I probably have diabetic degenerative eye disease.
Jesus, you don't have diabetes, right?
No.
Okay.
not yet.
Not yet. I mean, I'm the one here like sipping a soda now every single podcast.
I'm like sipping on Bang energy drink 0. I'm like ready to punch
at
a
9 in the
morning.
Face. So 9 in the morning would make sense. 9 in the afternoon.
Well, I was drinking one yesterday to fucking play this stupid ass game. I was like, I'm gonna play this fucking all night because I felt like shit, and I'm like sitting there jittery, like trying to fall asleep at 6 a.m. like fucking exhausted, but like.
They didn't really touch. They touched on caffeine, or they touched on addiction a bit, but they didn't touch on caffeine addiction. So I don't know what to say.
No.
You were just trying to get in the zone.
Speaking of getting in the zone, did you see that guy that injected semen into someone and they got arrested?
I thought he just like had a syringe and he was just like doing around that. Like he was just like pushing the syringe around people.
He had a syringe filled with his own semen, and he walked up to someone and was like. And,
okay,
like,
that's so much worse. That like it's traumatizing to be chased by semen man.
Holy
but
fuck!
That's
no,
like...
he wasn't even chased. Someone was just standing there, and he just walked up to them, and was like, and just like walked off.
That is, I have no
you
words.
You could just be injected with like someone's jizz,
or AIDS.
I didn't look into see if it was like infected or anything like that. It was just like jizz. Like, what's the health effects of having jizz in your bloodstream?
I bet it's been done more than you think, okay?
Well, it's like I'm sure, like if you inject air into your bloodstream, you like die.
Yeah, but one is
Like,
a bodily
is, like-
fluid, okay? Bodily
So
fluids
because
love
it's, like-
bodily fluids. I'm a doctor in this situation.
So like jizz and blood just are a match made in heaven.
For some people, that's not my vibe.
That's I don't think that's anyone's vibe. Hopefully,
That
Actually,
is
I'm pretty
definitely
there are people
people's
out there that
vibe.
like that.
Yeah, there's
What, jizz and
there's
blood?
like well, you know, there's
Sounds like a good band name, like Jizz and Blood.
it probably exists. It's probably like a niche metal band that is impossible to distinguish from the other like 95 grindcore bands that all sound the same. I'm sorry to the grindcore fan base. I don't like the genre. Anyway, the thing is, like, this article, when you sent it to me, okay, so let's actually read the title, because, like, you're just, like, throwing out something with insane, like, context. But, okay, Maryland man whose attack on a woman with a semen-filled syringe was caught on camera, sentenced to 10 years. So this happened a bit ago. The thing is, like, I'm not going to say this is my backyard, but it's in my state. This is where I'm currently living. So it's very weird to see.
This could have been you.
This could have been me. I'm very careful, okay? I keep social distancing. If a guy was coming at me with a syringe, I'd be like, "Where's your mask?"
I think he was like facing, like she was like facing away, and he just like walked past her and was like, "Psst," and like kept going.
I guess I wonder where the
That's like so scary.
like in the neck. It's like it's
Like-
significantly yeah. It's significantly different than like the arm. Okay,
I think it was like in the back. I like read like the first paragraph was just like.
there's no point
holy
to this
shit.
article except for the title. We all know that. We don't. I don't want to actually know information about this because that'll just make me sad. It's just like the fact that I thought it was a man chasing around people with his
Listen.
semen, which is already terrible.
Every once in a while, we just gotta get a little sensationalist on here, you know?
Okay, I guess you're. Every once in a while, you gotta get a little sensation. I'm speculating here, but it's your fault. Okay, you're the one
Just,
who linked this to me. You're the one who just brought this up.
Listen, sometimes we're doing like gamer shit. We're doing, Twitch drama, whatever.
Are
Sometimes
you
just-
saying this is gamer shit?
Sometimes, yeah, this is a big gamer move. No, sometimes you just got to bring a little IRL into the mix, you know? This is what reality is like.
Thomas
this is what happens on the main
Brian
streets.
Steeman. His name is Steeman.
Maybe that's why he did it. His
Yeah,
last
maybe.
name is Steeman.
Yeah, I
He's
mean, like,
people made fun of him so bad. He's like, "You call me Seaman, well, I'll give you Seaman."
that was the plot twist of the century. No, but do you think he was a gamer? All right, Thomas
Awkward.
Steeman gaming. All right, gaming does not come up. It's
I
only
just-
about his assault. There's no gaming involved.
I guess he has the highest score for most
No,
semen injections.
no. You can't be like. It's already bad enough when like you ever like watch a movie and it's like about nerd culture, and then it's like, guess he got the high score. You're bringing that into the real life about a sexual deviant.
No, did you see that CSI episode, or like at least the clip
Oh
for it?
yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
It was like the woman.
Ice-T.
She got like raped at a fucking.
It was Gamergate based.
Yeah, it was like a convention for like video games. And then she's like got raped, and then she's in the bathroom. And there's like, "What happened to you?" They got the high score, and then it fades to black.
That
It's
those
terrible.
CSI writers, man. I have no response to stuff like that. It's just like it's so cringe that I can't handle it. Can we move on to literally anything else?
Yeah, sure. What do you got?
Tacos. Actually, that's a bad no, not the innuendo taco. Taco Bell. You're a Taco Bell fan, right?
Let me tell you, I actually had this conversation with someone the other day. Do you like the quesadillas from Taco Bell?
No, I hate every single item from Taco Bell. I actually hate Taco Bell so much.
Really? I fucking love Taco Bell.
Yeah,
I think their quesadillas are hella decent.
They're like literally my lowest tier of the fast food ladder.
Wow.
The
They're, like,
last
up
good
over
item
me.
I remember was like the black taco, whatever it was actually called.
Dude, you didn't like the volcano taco? Or like
I like the volcano taco,
nachos?
but that was around the same time as the black taco, and then after that, I just never went back because everything sucked.
Wow. When was the last time you had it?
Not actually, like 2 years ago. Like I remember, I had to
what'd you
try their
have?
fries. But no, but like you're not gonna convert me on Taco Bell. I just don't like Taco Bell that much.
Oh,
But-
my God.
What
take
is
you to
your
Taco
answer
Bell.
to your friend and you debate whether or not what chalupas are good?
Chalupas are good. I like their quesadillas. Their soft.
I
hard shell
just
tacos
don't
are
like
pretty good.
quesadillas that much. I feel like cheese and
I love
bread
quesadillas.
is just like a relatively boring combo. You got to add
You
something
don't?
into
Do
the
you
mix.
not like grilled cheese?
I do, but like that's different. I like the bread.
You
in there
literally
actually is
said
character.
bread and cheese.
I know. I realize now that when you said that, like, yeah, of course. But
And
like,
is tortilla a bread?
Yeah, okay, maybe that's the distinction. Tortilla and cheese is just a boring combo because tortilla is boring by itself.
And chicken.
Okay.
And jalapeno cheese sauce.
I feel like every single like quesadilla that's been offered to, like if someone like made quesadillas at their house, it's like for some reason they don't add meat. Maybe because it's the easiest thing to make for a
always
guest.
add meat to mine.
Okay, well I just have maybe I've had a lot of vegetarian quesadillas in the past couple of years, and that's why I hate quesadillas. We are so besides the point here.
That's
Taco Bell is testing out a subscription service.
That sounds awful, and I don't like. I didn't read it all because it sounds so fucking stupid. Could you please explain this to me?
No, okay, it's actually a relatively good deal if you're a degenerate who goes to Taco Bell constantly. But okay, like the thing is,
like me and my guilties.
Yeah, so this is a good deal. But the thing is, I just think it's so funny that everyone's got to get into that subscription game. You look at your bill, it's HBO Max and Taco Bell. So the thing is, for 30 days, it ranges from 5 to 10 a month, and you get, I think you get one free taco a day.
Wait, that's a fantastic deal.
Yeah, it is. If you want,
like coming home from work, and just like, I just need a little snack. Let me get a crunchy taco.
Oh, yeah, okay. Customers with the Taco Lovers Pass can order one crunchy taco, soft taco, spicy potato soft taco, or Doritos Locos taco per day for 30 days straight. So
for how much?
$5 to $10 depending on locations. Like if you're in like the city center,
you could, because a taco itself is like
$1, right?
It's like $1.40, $1.50 in some places. So it's like you could literally do that like 5 times in 1 month, and it's worth the money.
I think they're banking on the fact that they know that if people eat like more than 3 Taco Bell meals in a week, they'll never want Taco Bell again.
Well, it's less about that. I don't get it often. Like I'll probably get it like maybe once or twice a month, but like I could totally see myself like driving past Taco Bell. Oh, I'm hungry after work. I only have a couple bucks in my pocket. Let me just grab a crunchy taco because that's something I feel like
this
I always
idea
want.
sounds good on the surface for like the first 2 days. And then, like, imagine.
Well, I'm not gonna get it every day. Like,
imagine eating a Taco Bell taco every single day for 30 straight. How much would you hate that last taco? You'd want to die.
It would be disgusting. But like, I could see myself like maybe 2 1 week, 1 week, and then 3 like the next week, and then like maybe none the next, like that kind of thing. You know,
this is like feed the homeless tier good deal. Like,
oh, dude, like what if like you get like 100 people together to all get this, and then you all just like give it to homeless people every single day?
Well, no, it's if you are no, I'm not even talking that. I'm talking like a resourceful homeless person, because like homeless people have $5. Like most of them have like a tiny bit of funds. Like they're not so like, because they literally need to eat. They're not gonna...
We could literally solve world hunger with this pass. Like,
yeah.
like how much? Like how many people are in the world? Let's actually do the math on this.
8 billion.
How many
so $40 billion
people in the world? Hold on. How many hungry people are in the world? There's 690 million hungry people. All right.
All right. So you're talking about like
per month. So that's 690. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
3,350,000,000. All right.
Divided by 30. For $23 million a month, you could like end world hunger.
I feel like the math on that was super wrong. You said 690 million people?
That's how many people are hungry.
690 million people times 5. Yeah. That's
times 5.
$3 billion a month, which is not like from the grand scheme of things like that. The GDP of the United States.
Well, no, but then you have to
double.
you have to divide that by 30.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you're doing per day. You said per month. Yeah. So $115 million a day on Taco Bell.
Like,
Taco Bell goes bankrupt in like in a month because they're obviously banking on people not using this every single day. But think about how
for $115 million a month, you could literally end world hunger. That doesn't seem.
Is that like
that
psychological torture though? It's like you're not going to be hungry, but you're forced to eat Taco Bell as your
4 different options though. It's like, oh, I don't want a crunchy taco today. Let me get the potato taco.
You have like 1.5 options. You have a taco, and then you have slight variations. That's like saying like, have you ever go to like Chipotle? It's like, oh, you have millions of options because you include every single topping combination. It's like that doesn't work. It's the same thing with slightly different toppings.
Like seriously, $115 million a month ends world hunger straight up.
Yeah, there's a few flaws in this plan, but I appreciate your spirit here. I mean,
think about like Jeff Bezos has 200.
Jeff Bezos?
Yeah,
he lost the S.
Jeffrey Bezos. He could do that for 1,739 days straight.
That's like 3 years.
No, excuse me, 1,739 months. So 144 years.
Your math is not right.
Of tacos.
Your math is no, because it's 115 million a day.
No, that's a month.
No, that's not a month.
Because it's $5 a month.
Yeah, it's $5 a month
for one taco every day.
For the cost is 690 million times 5 per month. Then you divide that by 30.
Correct. Which is 115 million per month.
Per day. What's the dividing by 30 do? Why would you divide by 30?
Listen, this is why calculators exist, okay?
Yeah, but you used the calculator and then you got to this conclusion.
Taco Bell at Solve World Hunger, okay?
They're not okay, so the thing is,
conversation.
Like, I always thought that, like, obviously I am not the public policy genius here. There's probably flaws in my plan. But, like, hypothetically, let's use Chicago as an example. Chicago has 6 Flags, right?
Great America.
How much is a season pass to 6 Flags?
Like $75.
There are season pass options that also include 1 meal per visit. They're like a little bit more money.
Yeah, but those are super expensive.
They're not super expensive. They're only a couple $100s. And when you consider that a Six Flags Great America has a water park too and entertainment, which water park, so it has a water park too, which means it has a shower.
Yeah, but we're talking about $5
meal
versus like. But then where do you go after? You just sleep in your car?
I guess, or you just sleep in the water park area on the bench. It's like, oh, that dude's just chilling out.
I think they would kick you out.
They would not kick you out if you were a season pass holder.
Is that like the dystopian society we get to eventually, where it's like people like live in Six Flags? Like you pay for like the season pass to like live there and eat the 1 free meal. It's like ride your roller coaster today and go to your designated housing.
If I was president, I would send the homeless to Six Flags.
It's like dystopian. I guess they're like it's dystopian, but at least they get to go on Raging Bull.
Problem. Yeah, the unhoused problem has gone on long enough. Six Flags needs to pull their weight.
All right, we need to look to see how much this actually is. Holy shit! Like we're literally solving all public problems. Like this is actually insane to me.
By just dumping on companies with subscription services.
Okay, so there's nothing that gives free food.
No, view all add-ons. They have a basic member dining. Eat a meal and snack every time you visit.
So the meal thing itself is $60 just for the meal thing.
For the whole season, though?
Yeah, that doesn't even count season pass.
Yeah, but the season pass for Six Flags is like already only like $50 to $60. What does it say? 2021 season pass only $49.99. You could also get 2021 and 2022 for $70 instead of $50. So you get two. So hypothetically, we're talking about like a 5-month. I don't know when a season pass period is.
So it's like $120 per person.
Yeah, and you get the meal, and you get a shower.
Something tells me that like is significantly cheaper than any other options they have to like solve homelessness and hunger.
Yeah, and you get like a water park.
Dude, Six Flags needs to reach out to like Joe Biden and be like, "Listen, I can solve all your problems, and it will be."
Six Flags wants people to know the secret that they could solve the unhoused problem. Okay, and that's right. I'm.
But how good would it be for business? Like,
it would be terrible for business. You go to Six
their parks
Flags
would be filled,
and there is a wave of it'd be filled. It'd be filled with people that like no offense to people who are homeless, but like. There is a general stigma against homeless people.
I want to say something. When you say no offense, usually people are going to take offense.
Yeah, I guess. But like
you're like, those ugly homeless people are going to be...
I'm sorry to our homeless listeners, but...
It's like that fucking Eric Cartman episode of South Park where he's mad at the minorities at the water park.
Okay, Jesus Christ, I'm not saying... I'm not being racist against the homeless here. I'm saying
dirty pores!
There is a general idea in business that you don't want to flood your business with homeless people. Like, that is...
But I mean, so you make another Six Flags next to Six Flags that are only homeless
called
people.
Homeless Six Flags? Like, I don't...
Homeless Six Flags, but like, all the tickets are sold out all the time. You're getting the money.
But like, what's there? Just homeless people? Like, are there rides in that Six Flags?
Nah, it's just a big field.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Okay,
a crop dusting plane comes by with a ranch every 2
like
hours.
I'm
It's
imagining
their
like
meal.
literally thousands of homeless trek to Six Flags.
like on trains.
No, not
Like-
on trains. We're not making that reference. What the fuck are you saying right now? All I'm saying is that
This podcast has gone a little bit off the rails.
yeah, okay. It's the roller coaster rails. Six Flags.
Think about it. Think about it. This could. I'm like, send this to your fucking.
Send this to Joe Biden.
No, send this to your senator. Like, I could solve all your problems right now. Or like, what if that's like your platform? It's like, I am working with Six Flags to end hunger.
Not even that you're working with them. It's that like I am going
And
to
then they
force.
could all they could all stay at Great Bear Lodge.
No, they can't because that costs money.
Yeah, but like, it's still like so.
The
what's
whole
it?
point of going to Six Flags is to sleep.
They don't have anywhere to sleep there.
You sleep on the lawn chair in the water bar. This is the plan.
Just like tens of thousands of people sleeping on like fighting over fucking
beach chairs in the water park, and that like you're creating a nocturnal homeless society where they sleep at the Six Flags and go about their day during the night.
So what
I
about,
guess
like, the
going
winter?
about their night. Yeah, this is a temporary stay on homelessness. Okay,
Yeah.
obviously there is going to be a period of time, roughly what Six Flags is only open to like when's the water park close? Like September, early September. So we're talking like May to September. This is a small window to solve homelessness, but the thing
It's
is
like better. It's probably still cheaper than like other options. Like I think they spend like almost like $1,100 per person for like already. And it's
yes,
super
but
expensive.
also think about what could happen in that 3 months. You're chilling out at the water park. You have resources. You have a shower. You have the ability to use what I assume is like some sort of. Amusement parks have to have Wi-Fi at this point, right? They might be charged for it.
Probably.
If there's some resemblance of free Wi-Fi getting your resume out the door, this is.
They also have DDR. They can get ripped.
They can't get ripped because the DDR costs like $1 for 1 credit and the pads don't work. I think this, like, the thing is, you're going about this, like, really wrong because you can't say I'm working with Six Flags to end homelessness because, again, Six Flags does not want this at all. They will do everything they can to stop
Why?
them being the solution to homelessness.
So then we just need to steal their business plan and do the same thing and just solve homelessness. Like just create theme parks.
The
filled with
whole,
homeless.
the
So
whole
to
point
create
of the
theme
season
parks
pass.
to put the homeless people there, you know, away from everybody else. They're having a good old time. Saves everybody money. Everybody's happy. They're on the roller coaster, throwing up, eating corn dogs. You know,
The whole point of a season pass
it's
is that
literally
people don't go.
It's
That's how
literally
they
a
make their money.
utopian society.
Okay, that's not true. They make a lot of money from like all the really expensive stuff in the park, but like
No, well,
more
they
a
make their
person-
money because you only go like once or twice.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they either make the crowd off like, or they make their money back on like the super crowd who goes every single day and they like buy a plushie for like $75 every single
Yeah.
time they go,
Like
or
$22 Dippin' Dots.
or they make their money off the person who buys a season pass and literally never goes. Was me. I bought a season pass to an amusement park and then didn't go because of COVID, and they extended it for a year. But like, the thing is, COVID still was there a year later, so it was a bad investment. But what can I say?
I got pressured into a gym membership. I had it for like 5 months. I never went.
My platform as a senator of Illinois, I guess we're doing Six Flags Great America in the Chicago area. I would say Six Flags. It's time for them to pay their dues. Okay, they profited off society, and now society needs to
Gets a
profit off
profit
of
off
them.
them.
Yeah, so we're gonna solve homelessness. There we go. Beautiful platform. Applause. The end.